Welcome back class. Today's topic is Wheatstone Bridge. Don't be confused, this topic it is mentioned in the revised syllabus for the 2020. It is only qualitative analysis. Qualitative analysis means only the theoretical part is there, that means there is no numerical will come in this year. But this topic is not only useful in this particular chapter, also it is a part of the combination of resistor and in the capacitor chapter. So maybe some capacitor numerical will come which is based upon the Wheatstone bridge. So nobody can claim that you have mentioned in this syllabus only the qualitative analysis. So it is better to discuss the qualitative and the quantitative both the aspects of this topic. So we will discuss not only the theory, also will numerical, because it is also useful for your competitive section. So Wheatstone bridge. What is the Wheatstone bridge? Wheatstone bridge is the arrangement of the resistors. Wheatstone bridge is the arrangement of the resistor by which you can find the value of the resistance of any conductor. So just see what is the arrangement of the resistor. How the resistances are arranged. C, P, Q, R and S, and this is the galvanometer attached from this point A to B, small a to B. A simple, I am giving the name capital A, capital B, capital C and capital D. I am giving the name of the nodes. So see the arrangement. This is the arrangement of resistor having the four resistances of magnitude P, Q, R and S, and there is a cell and this is the key. So when you press the key, the I current will start from the positive terminal of the cell and reach here. Now here the two branches are there, so the current will divide. So I am assuming in this direction the I1 current flows and in this direction the I2 current flows. Right now? So I current start from the positive terminal of the cell and reaches here because there are two branches originating from this point node A. So I am assuming the I1 current is flowing this side and I2 current is flowing this side. Now the I1 reaches this point B. Again there is a two paths are available. Just see this VD branch. This VD branch, there is a galvanometer attached here. Galvanometer is attached here. You know that galvanometer is a device which is used to measure the direction of the current, or it is giving the indication of the presence of current. Suppose anyhow this galvanometer is indicating the null deflection. What is the meaning of this null deflection? That means there is no current flowing in this particular branch. Anyhow, so when it is possible there is no current flowing in this branch, it is only possible when VV is equal to VD. That means the potential difference across the ends of this galvanometer, that means the potential of the B point and the potential of the D point. If both the potentials are equal, then there is no potential difference. If there is no potential difference, there is no current. You know that potential difference causes the flow of the charge. Right? So if there is no potential difference, in that case there is no current is flowing. So anyhow, we are assuming in this particular branch there is no current is flowing, and it is only possible when VV is equal to VD. So if the I1 current is start from here and here in this branch there is no current is flowing, so all the current will flow this side. So the I1 current will flow because there is no division of the current in this branch. In this branch there is no current is flowing. We are assuming. Similarly for the I2 reaches here, the two branches are here. In this particular branch there is no current is flowing, so the total current I2 will flows in this particular path. And again this I1, I2 will combine here and total current will flow. So here I is equal to I1 plus I2. Right? So this is the four arrangement of the resistors, and I current is starting from the cell. This I is dividing in the two branches In P register, the I1 is flowing. In R register, I2 is flowing. Anyhow, the potential across this P point and B point and D point is equal, and there is no deflection in the galvanometer. We are going to find what are the condition when there is no deflection in the galvanometer. It is our aim. So initially we are assuming that there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Due to this, the I1 current will flow in this Q and I2 current will flow in this S, because there is no division of I1 here and there is no division of the I2 here. Right? Now see, now I am going to apply the Kirchhoff's second law, loop law, in this mesh 1 and this mesh 2. I am assuming this is the mesh 1 and this is the mesh 2. So on applying KVL in mesh 1, right? So see here, I am starting from the A point. So here I1 into P, I just check the polarity, because current flowing from this side to this side, so this one at higher potential, this one at lower potential, so there is a loss of potential, that is why minus I1 to P. Again you will reach here, this galvanometer, there is no current is flowing, that is why there is no potential drop. You will reach here, this is I2 is flowing from this end to this end, that is this one at higher potential, this one at lower potential. So you are reaching like this one, so that become your lower potential to higher potential, so plus I2 into R, and that algebraic sum should be equals to, again we will reach the point A. Don't be confused. If you want to apply my method, whatever I am explaining in the KVL, you can assume the I1 current like this one, I2 current in that direction. But the book method is this one, that is why I am explaining by this one. If you are facing the problem, no need to worry. You just assume the mesh 1 current like that, I1, and mesh 2 current like that, I1, I2. And again you will apply the KVL, you will get the same result. So no need to worry. By both the method you can derive. But this is the book method, and mostly students are following the book method, that is why I am giving this method here to explain. And it's in the second, so if you see here, I1P is equal to I2R, so I can take this one, I1P is equal to I2R. Equation number 1, just divide by the minus and take the I2R that side. Similarly, when you apply on applying KVL in mesh 2, in this mesh, I am applying the KVL. You can start from anywhere. I am starting from the B point. So I1 into Q, just check, because this is the at higher potential, this is the lower potential, that is why the current is flowing from this side to this side. So again there is a loss of potential. So loss of potential, there is a minus. You will reach here, this side, the I2 is flowing from this side to this side. So you are moving from minus to plus, the gain of potential. So plus, and what is the value? I2 into S. And you will see, if you reach again the B, so algebraic sum is equals to 0. So for the mesh, when you apply the KVL, you will get minus I1Q plus I2S equals to 0. The algebraic sum is equals to 0. Clear? Or you can write I1Q is equals to I2 into S, equation number 2. So I1Q is equals to I2 into S. So when you are applying the KVL in the second mesh, you are getting I1Q is equal to I2 into S. Now see the equation number 1 and 2. I am dividing the equation number 1 by 2. On dividing equation 1 by 2, we get I1P and I1Q. So I1 get cancelled out, you will get P by Q. And when we divide the right hand side, I2R and I2S, so I2 get cancelled out, you will get R by S. So P by Q is equal to R by S. So this condition holds when there is no deflection in the galvanometer. Right now? So if you are assuming this galvanometer is indicating the null deflection, that means this condition should be held by the arrangement of the registers. P by Q is equal to R by S. The ratio of this resistor divided by this one is equal to this divided by this one. P by Q is equal to R by S. Better? So when this condition holds, then the galvanometer shows the null deflection. Now I have given the definition. The Wheatstone bridge is the arrangement of resistor by which you can find the value of the resistor for any conductor. See how you can find P by Q is equal to R by S. This is the four resistors are given. Suppose in place of Q or anyone, in place of Q, if you are using an unknown resistor, here, this is the value of Q is X. So if you know the three resistors P, R and S, so simply you can find the value of the X. So out of this four resistor, if 3 is known and 1 is unknown, simply you can find the value of the unknown resistor. So with the help of this arrangement, you can find the value of the unknown resistance. Right? So if 3 is known and 1 is unknown, simply with the help of putting this value, you can find the value of the unknown resistor. So this is the condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. This is a condition for balanced Wheatstone bridge. Balanced Wheatstone bridge. Is that? When the P by Q is equal to R by S, then you will say the bridge is balanced. So bridge is balanced. This is the condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. So let us see some question. So just see this question. This is a set of arrangements are there, and you have to find what is the net resistance across this AB point, RAB. You have to find the equivalent resistance across this AB terminal. Right now? So the values of the resistors are given: 2 ohm, 8 ohm, 12 ohm, 4 ohm, 16 ohm, and this 5 ohm. And these are the AB points. And you have to find what is the net resistance offered across this AB point. AB point, what is the net resistance offered by this arrangement of the resistor. So just see here. If you see this particular arrangement, leave this 5 ohm. If you leave this 5 ohm resistor, if you see this is the arrangement, and this arrangement is similar to the Wheatstone bridge. It is similar to the Wheatstone bridge. I am not saying the balanced Wheatstone bridge, but it is similar to the Wheatstone bridge. Right? You are seeing this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resistors are here, and just check whether these are the this Wheatstone bridge is the balance or not. So how can find P by Q is equal to R by S? So simple, P by Q, that is 2 by 8 is equals to 4 by 16. P by Q is equal to R by S. So just check here, 2 4s are, so that becomes 1 by 4 and 4 4s are. So 1 by 4. You will see P by Q is equal to R by S. So this bridge is balanced because P by Q is equal to R by S. 1 by 4 is equal to 1 by 4. So here P by Q is equal to R by S. That is why in this particular branch there is no current is flowing. So if in this branch there is no current is flowing, so what is the meaning of this 12 ohm resistor? If this bridge is balanced because 1 by 4 is equal to 1 by 4, that means this 12 ohm resistor is not providing any resistance in this circuitry, because in this branch there is no current is flowing. So if there is no current is flowing, that means there is no movement of the charge. If there is no movement of charge, that means there is no opposing effect is there. So the meaning of this 12 ohm resistor is nothing here in this circuitry. So simply you can remove this resistor, or simply you can erase this resistor. Now this circuitry is quite simple. You can find the R net across this AB terminal. How can find this one? You can see here, I am erasing this one. And if you can see, these two 2 ohm and 8 ohm resistors are in the series combination. So you will get how much? In place of these two, you can use only one resistance of 2 plus 8, 10 ohm. And you can see this is connected with this 5 ohm. And this 4 ohm plus 16 ohm, this is also in the series combination. So in place of this one, you can also use one resistor of 4 plus 16, that will become 20 ohm. Clear? And now this combination is connected with this 5 ohm. Another resistor is here, and this A point, and this is the B point. A point and this B point. So this is the 10 ohm, this is the 20 ohm. Two resistors are here. Now these two are across this point, parallel to each other. So after simplification, you will get one resistor, and the value of that resistor is how much? You know that these two are in the parallel combination, so R1 R2 upon R1 plus R2. So simply you will get 10 into 20 divided by 10 plus 20. So you will get 200 divided by 30, or you will get 20 by 3 ohm. So in place of you can use 20 by 3 ohm resistor, and that is connected with like that one, A and B, and this is your 5 ohm resistor. 5 ohm. Now you see this is a very simple circuitry. 5 ohm and 20 by 3 ohm is in the series combination. Also if it is a single wire, so what you will get the RAB? So RAB you will get 20 by 3 plus 5. Just simplify this one. 20 plus 15 divided by 3, that will become 35 divided by 3 ohm. So this is your net resistance across the AB terminal. Right now? So this is the net resistance offered across this AB terminal. So it is a condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge. So the middle resistance get eliminated, and after that this circuitry is simple. Simply with the process of the series and parallel combination, you just find the what is the net resistance offered across this terminal A and B. Right now? So in place of AB, there is a cell is also get connected. If there is a cell is connected and is asked what is the current flowing in this 4 ohm resistor or this 2 ohm resistor, simply you can find. So again you will eliminate this one, find the R net, and just find the what is the amount current supplied by the cell, and after that there is a division of the current is there, and simply you can find that one. And also with the help of KVL you can find. So KVL method is lengthy. Simple, with the help of series and parallel combination you can find the what is the amount of current flowing in any particular resistor. Right now, because after eliminating this one. But suppose sir, if it is not a balanced condition of the balanced Wheatstone bridge, if it is not the condition for the balanced Wheatstone bridge, then you have to apply the KVL. Without KVL you cannot find the R net. So with the help of KVL you can find the what is the amount of current supplied by the cell, and then if you know the total current and total voltage, then you can find the what is the resistance offered, which is not in your syllabus. Which is not every time the question is given, which is based upon the balanced Wheatstone bridge. Also there is a one formula is for that when the bridge is not balanced, but it is not in the board syllabus. If you will ask the question, I will explain you in any other class, because that you get confused every time, because in your syllabus only the balanced Wheatstone bridge is there. For the unbalanced you have to use the KVL method. So when I will give you one question which is not balanced Wheatstone bridge, then with the help of KVL you can find the R net, and one also short trick method is there, with the help of you can find. So but in your syllabus only the balanced Wheatstone bridge is there. Every time the bridge is balanced. So I hope you understand this one. If you have any doubt, mention in the comment section. Thank you.